Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we will discuss the hazard perception test for UK drivers and we will review 5 more of the real hazard test clips. All of these clips have been taken from real life tests and are a great way to practice for the real test. Before we start with the clips, we need to understand some very important guidelines that you need to follow in order to pass the test. In the real test you will be shown some clips like this and you have to identify any developing hazards you see in the clip. A developing hazard is a hazard that has not yet developed completely but that may require you to take some kind of action, for example to brake or to change your speed. In each test one of the clips will have 2 hazards while the rest of them will only have 1 hazard per clip. You should try to click as soon as you see a hazard developing, but don't worry as I will give you a 3-click method that will guarantee that you don't miss any hazards and will allow you to score the highest no of points. If you don't already know for each of the clips you can get up to 5 points if you guess the hazard correctly and click at the right moment. Using this 3-click method will give you the highest chances of getting the full 5 points for each clip. In the real test a flag will appear when you make a click. This flag indicates that your click has been registered. You can click as many times as you feel is necessary, but make sure to not spam click or click in a pattern as any of these actions may get you disqualified from the test. You won't be punished for making any extra clicks when there is no hazard in the video as long as you don't try to spam it. You should only click when you think a hazard is developing and use the 3-click method to make sure you get the highest score possible. The 3-click method. This method involves clicking 3 times when you see a hazard developing. First click. Click when you first see the potential hazard developing. Second click. Click when the hazard becomes more apparent and is likely to affect the driving situation. Third click. Click when the hazard is at its most significant point, where it requires the driver's full attention and possibly action. I will explain it further with an example. In this clip, as you can see, we are driving along a multi-lane road. There is a car on our left with its right indicators flashing, which tells us that the driver is about to move towards the right. This is a developing hazard, so for the first click we will make the click as soon as we see the car. For the second click we will click as we get closer to the car, and for the last click we will click as our car comes to a stop. Using this method you will have to click 3 times for any developing hazard you see in the video. With all that being said, let's now start with the real clips and practice our hazard perception. Here is the first clip. You have to be attentive and focus on finding any developing hazards. As you can see, we are approaching a traffic signal. There are lots of cars coming towards us and there is a side road on the left. There is also a bike coming towards us. This is a developing hazard as the cars or the bike may decide to go left and we may have to stop. So for the first click we will click as soon as we see and understand the situation. For the second click we will click as we get closer to the signal. And lastly, we will make the third click as our car comes to a stop. Here is the second clip. As you can see, we are going along a road with a side road on our left. We can see in the windows that there is a truck approaching from the side road. So we will make the first click as soon as we see the reflection of the truck in the windows. We will make the second click as we get closer to the side road, and lastly we will make the third click as we slow down and come to a stop. As we discussed earlier, one of the clips in the test will have two hazards instead of one, so we have to pay attention to each clip and try to find the second hazard. Here is the third clip. As you can see in this clip, we are going along a road with a bridge going over it, making a narrow tunnel as indicated by the road sign. There is a car approaching us, but due to the tunnel being narrow, the two cars cannot pass at the same time. This is a developing hazard as we may have to stop and give way to the oncoming car. So for the first click we will click as we are approaching the tunnel. For the second click we will click as we get closer to it. And lastly we will make the third click as the car gets closer to us and passes by. Here is the fourth clip. In this one, as you can see, there is a dog wailing on the road in front of us. So we will make the first click as soon as we see the dog. Then we will make the second click as we approach the dog. And lastly we will make the third click as our car comes to a stop. Now here, as you can see, we are approaching a pedestrian crossing and there is a person waiting to cross the road. So we will make the first click as soon as we see the person. Then we will make the second click as we get closer to the crossing. And lastly we will make the third click as our car slows down. And lastly, here is the final clip. In this one, as you can see, there is a vehicle merging onto the main road from a side road and there is a biker in front of us. So we will make the first click as soon as we see the vehicle merging. Then we will make the second click as we get closer to it. And lastly we will make the third click as the biker in front slows down. That's it for today's video. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment down below, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like and also subscribe for more. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.